Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Qashqai video. Today we're going to be talking about dash cams and what sort I use and how to hardwire one, which is the main part of this video. As usual guys, before we start this video, I really want to say thank you to my members. They are Shane Cook, Darren Lynch and Chris Owen. If you'd like to join them and get perks such as access to the videos 24 hours early, get shout outs in videos and lots more, just check out the join button just below this video and you can find out more. But for now, let's crack on and get on with the video. So dash cams then, a lot of people have got them now. They're becoming really common. Most people have them just in the front, but some people also have them in the rear window as well, just to capture any maybe rear impacts or things behind them. This is what I use. This is a little Kenwood DRV 330. It wasn't that expensive, it was about £80. It's still available on Amazon, so I'll put a link just below here if you did want to pick one up yourself. But this is a little bit more advanced than a basic one, so it also has GPS tracking. So it tracks your speed, where you were on a map, direction changes, and like impacts, forces. So if it was a heavy impact, you've got it here. But yeah, I won't get too much into it. Like I say, if you want to pick one up of your own, I'll put the link just below. It's a tiny little unit. It's working pretty well. I did have to buy the SD card separately. But the main part of this video is I've picked up one of these because I've always used the rather cumbersome, messy cigarette lighter style connection with that, which runs all around the car and it goes into the centre glove box to get its power. I'd much rather, so I've got one of these, get what's called a hardwire kit. Now this goes directly to one of the fuses in your fuse box, therefore the wiring is completely hidden away. It's not trailing around in the car. It's a lot tidier. And what we're going to do is I'm going to unbox this next, or unpackage this next, show you exactly what you get, and then we're going to head down to the car and I'm going to show you exactly how you fit this in your Qashqai. So here we go, this is how it comes. Like I say, this as well as the dashcam itself is also from Amazon, so again I'll put a link to this. It's quite cheap, this was, I think it was just around about £10. So there are different sorts. The main thing you need to make sure you get is the right fuse connection, which I'll show you in a sec. So let's get it unpackaged. So I'll go through everything. So yeah, this one comes with 3 different fuse types because cars have different kind of fuse connections if you're not aware. Some have the old spade connectors, which is this sort. Tend to be older cars. A few of my older cars have had that. Then there's these more narrow ones. I don't know the exact name for these, but it's similar to the spade connections, but you can see the teeth on it as such are narrower and longer. But the one we're interested in, which is what the Qashqai uses, is this one, which I believe is called a micro fuse. Get it in focus, you can see it has plastic in between the 2 teeth, so that's the one that we need. So that's why we've got this one specifically. So we're going to be using that one. These 2, I don't know, perhaps find some friends that need one, I don't know, put them out of the way. It also comes with, quite handily, your replacement fuses and a fuse puller, so it's a really good kit. It comes with everything you need. You shouldn't actually need any tools really. So let's get these out. So this is what, like I say, what they call a fuse puller. Now what this does, if I use a fuse for example, is, so there's the fuses in your fuse box. This goes over them, oops, so it goes around them, and it grabs hold of it, and it just pulls out. This is quite useful for that. Again, so that's the old style fuse, which we won't be using, the longer style fuse, which we won't be using, and the micro fuse, which we will be using. So it comes with a 5 amp fuse, all 3 of them are 5 amp, so we're going to need that. And then here's the main part. So on one end, this is again, if you already have a dash cam, this is the important bit. You need to make sure that the end, the plug that goes into your dash cam, is the correct style plug. In my case, it is a mini USB, I think this is called. This is quite an old style. So here's my dash cam. You can see the plug there. That's the mini USB. So that will plug into it just like that. Some of them use micro USB. I think some now even use USB-C, which is a newer kind of connection. So just make sure, if you do follow the link, that your dash cam is a micro USB. So it's that shape there, you can see. So yeah, quite a long wire on there. Then it runs to this little box here, which is all in Chinese, but it says car DVR exclusive power box. But yeah, we don't really need to read anything on there. Obviously it's 12 volt, which is what the car is. And then coming out the other side, we have a red and a black wire. Now, for those that aren't too clued up on electrics or electronics, your red wire is your positive wire and your black wire is your negative wire. So it's quite a long wire, you can see it keeps going. I would say that's probably just over a meter. It keeps going. And on the other end of it, we've got 2 connections, obviously. We've got the positive, which is a bullet connection. Now that goes into whichever one of these you need. So in our case, it's going to be this one. So it just literally pushes in. Try and get it in focus if I can. It just pushes into there, like so, and then this plastic sheath goes over it just to protect the metal. There shouldn't get any moisture in your car, let's face it, but that just goes over that, and then that's going to go into our fuse box when we go down to the car. And the other side is a I forgot what you call these terminals, but basically you can put it onto a earth screw or bolt, put it onto it, tighten the bolt down, and that will be our earth or ground connection. So it's pretty simple as that, to be honest, guys. You know, one end goes into the car electrics, the other end goes into your dash cam. Quite a long bit of wire. I don't know exactly how long, don't want to do it at the moment, but I would say that's at least 2 or 3 meters, which is way overkill, so I'll be keeping hold of the cable tie just to tie it back up and tidy it up. But that's the bits you need. So the bits you don't need are the old style fuse, or the older style fuses. They're out the way. The bits that you do need is on the screen now, so it's the newer style fuse, and what that's going to do is go into here. Again, sorry about this focus, I need to sort of focus out on this phone. It's going to go one into here, and we're going to, whichever fuse that we steal out of the car or borrow, we're going to put that into the other connection. So that's going to go into there, and focus maybe, there we go. That's going to go in there, and the fuse that we jump into is going to go next to it, so we still keep the same fuse style. So yeah, that's that. Let's get down to the car and let's get this fitted in. So the first thing that we need to do is just to get a little bit of prep work done. So what we need to be doing is, obviously my dash cam is up here, so we need the wire to be fed above the liner up here, down this pillar, and then down underneath here. So the first thing we want to do is get the glove box out. To do that, open the glove box up, give it a little squeeze on the back sides, and you'll feel it pull out, whilst pulling it as well, and it should pop out. So it's held on with some clips on the back and 2 on each side. Once that's out, it's out of the way. That gives us access to our fuse box, which I'll show you more in depth in a second. We also need to remove this rubber strip around the door that just pulls away. Just be careful as you do it though, just give it a little pull and it will come away relatively easily, sort of like that. So we need access to all of this bit and down the side as well. Okay, so once we've got the trim removed from around the edge of the door, we've got the glove box removed as well, which gives us access to the fuse panel, which we'll need in a few moments time. We now need to feed the wire. So what I'm going to do is feed the dash cam end of the wire. It's going to go up here, as you see there's a gap just here, through there, and we're going to pull it out of this gap just here. It's quite tight, maybe a coat hanger or something might help, but I'm going to pull it out of just there. So that's what we're going to get done now. So now I've got the wire coming out of the side of the dash, so our aim is to run it up this pillar, through the side of the pillar, along the roof line to the dash cam. So I'm just going to push it up here, give this bit of trim here a pull, come away slightly, which gives us that little bit of room to put the cable through. So I'm going to pull it up to there, and run the cable behind this trim to the top. And now we've got a lot of excess, so I'm not going to put this in place yet. We'll get it plugged in and then we'll pull the excess back through. I'm going to put this part of the wire up under the headliner by running my finger along. Like so. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to push this back into place. Like so. I'll sort the tidying out of the wire out at the end with some stickies. So I'm going to run this wire down the pillar, and this excess I've got here I'm just going to pull through from underneath. Tidying the wire along the channel, and then we can put the rubber seal back. place. Sorted. So yeah, we'll sort this tidying out at the end. Next up, let's get the fuse in place. So now this is the fuse box, which is behind where your glove box is. It's quite simple, this part. And we've got the fuse puller that came with it. Also, just so you know, you also have one from Nissan, which is this thing here. If you give it a pull, that's the one that's the factory one. Excuse the really bright sunshine. So we're going to use that one. It's going to be easier. So the fuse that we're going to use is another 5 amp fuse, and it's going to be the third one from the right hand side. So you got a 15, a blue 15, a red 10, and then an orange 5. So we're going to remove that one with this just by pushing it onto it. It will snap onto it and then pull, and out it pops, and it pops out the back end there. So what we're going to do, that one that we've just taken out, again, excuse that bright sunshine, we're going to put that in here with our new one. So we've got 2 5 amperes now, and then we're going to just push this one back into that now empty hole. Thinking which way around to do it. The best clearance is going to be that way around. It pushes in just like the old one came out. Make sure it's well seated, and then that bullet connector which I undid to help me feed the wire through. That just goes into here, and then we cover it up with that plastic again just to protect it. That's that one, and then our earth is going to go onto this bolt just here. So anything that is unpainted metal on a car tends to be earthed, so we're going to use that one there. So I'm just going to get a plus edge screwdriver to undo it. So off camera I just tried to use a plus edge screwdriver. It's really tight, this one, so I'm just going to use the 10mm adapter instead. Oh, it is tight. Just loosen it a bit so that it's enough that it's away, and then we can slot that behind it, so, and then tighten it back up whilst holding that in place, preferably. Silly me. That behind there, hold it in place, and it's back tight again, so that's now got its earth as well. So the whole point of this one is this third fuse along is only live when the car is on, so, or the ignition's on. So that's obviously what you want with your dash cam. You don't want it draining your battery when the car's off. So now the next thing to do, just before we put all this wiring away, is just test that it works. So let's get the engine on. And there we go, it's come on. I don't know if you can see it. There you go, so it's on absolutely fine. And let's turn the engine off. The light at the top's gone red, which means it's on battery power. Switches to battery power, stops recording, and switches off. So there we go, pretty simple that. So now that we know it's fully working, just need to do a bit of cable management because we've got quite a bit of excess left. So I'm just using one of the cable ties that came with it just to tidy it up. So get it into a tidier, because otherwise it's going to catch probably the back of the glove box. So just put it into some loops. Same again with this side. Like that, and put the tie through. There we go, so it's not quite as messy. I'm just going to tuck this up above it. Pretty tidy out the way. And then it's just a case of getting the glove box. So putting the glove box back on. It's just a case of lining up those clips with clips there. 1 and 2. Giving it a push. So you hear that click. 1. One side in, other side in. And there we go. Click back in, and that's now exactly as it was before. There we go, folks. Pretty simple job. Tidy things up. I've now got a spare 12-volt socket in the armrest, which I didn't have before. Minimal tools required. I literally just needed that 10mm socket just to get that screw off for the ground connection. But there we go. As for this bit up here, what I'm going to do is get some sticky pads that I'm going to put up behind the roof line, just to tidy it away, because it's just going to end up falling back down again. So I'll get that done, and I'll post a little picture up of what I did exactly just after this bit. But for now, guys, thanks very much as usual. If you like the video, drop a like below, and feel free to chat about it in the comments. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one.